Live from Studio F in Philadelphia, Before Bed with Skip Phillips. On tonight's program, The Brass Baby, Joey Paintball, and the Lights Out Crew. And here's your host, Skip Phillips.
Let's get this show started. I'm a bit late coming into film today. I was caught up in line at the liquor store. Someone had told me recently, Skip, you know you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take? Well, in response, I decided to just, stop taking shots altogether and started drinking straight from the bottle. That way I don't see any way that I can miss. All right, tough crowd tonight. Anyway, our great state of Pennsylvania has recently ranked as the least funny state this side of the Mississippi, according to the census takers, which I mean is crazy. Have you met the people down there in Maryland? After looking into the cause, the State Bureau of Special Investigations has tracked down the source of this unfunniness to here in our writer's room. The governor has proposed a multitude of solutions to fixing this issue, such as importing Canadian comedians, using our taxpayer dollars to give us improv classes, or by moving the show to New Jersey. Our projections indicate that if they go through with that last one, we would automatically become the funniest show in New Jersey. All right, where's the applause? Where's the laughter? How many people do we even have out there? Turn the lights on, yeah. Yeah, Benny, yeah, we have a problem down here. Benny, I can't warm up the crowd. The problem is there is no crowd down here. Canceled. Turn the camera off, Charlie.
Breaking news coming from the world of late-night television. Popular NETC program Before Bed with Skip Phillips has not been renewed for a 5th season. The news comes suddenly as leaked footage has been released from last night's episode. Phillips, the 27-year-old host of the program, began his career on NETC working as a writer on multiple different shows. His success skyrocketed following the release of this viral segment from his time on the station's 5 o'clock news.
Thanks, Tom. That surprising study saying that 99% of college students are sexually active has got us wondering, where is that 1%? Excuse me there, young man. Do you like to have sex? Come back, wait.
Phillips was then given a chance by the network to host his own show, which would quickly turn into a hit. Over the weekend, members of the show's staff have spoken out to shed some light on the behind the scenes of the program.
Yeah, I'm cameraman, Skip's assistant. It's a real shame that this has been getting shut down. It's been great working for him. He can be a real asshole, but
the show, originally intended to air 3 more episodes, currently sits in limbo, and there's been no statement or sighting of Phillips since Friday night.
Jesus Christ.
This is everything I was able to find.
So what? We have 3 more shows to deliver them in? What's stopping us from doing that?
I mean, technically nothing, but I doubt the studio will like it at this point.
I remember the day that I signed that contract. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember that it said I was to give them 1 show every week for 40 weeks, from February to November. That's 40 weeks, 40 shows, plus an evergreen, just in case we need it.
If we need the evergreen.
Ben, this show is all I have at this point. And until I figure out whatever we're going to do to get back on the air, I need to keep putting my heart and soul into this. If we are going down, I want us to go down on top.
Fine. But if you get me blacklisted, I will literally kill you.
Yes.
I'm not joking, Skip. If you get me blacklisted, you'll be dead on the ground in a pool of blood without a show.
See, Ben, that's why you're the best in this business. You're the only one who realizes that threats of violence get people to do their best work. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been following the news, you've likely heard that our show, Before Bed with Skip Phillips, has effectively been canceled and not renewed for another season. This has come as shocking and disheartening news for everyone here working on the program, and we've definitely faced a heck of a lot of challenges over the past week, such as having to cut our crew and adjust our budget. But that hasn't stopped us from putting on this program for you tonight. We brought a camera crew along and took you behind the scenes. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our show tonight. You might have noticed that this isn't our normal venue. Well, thank you, NETC, for locking us out of our studio tonight. Hopefully, next week we should be back in there. But I decided we'll give you a peek behind the curtain tonight, show you some of the wonderful luxury office space that we have here in the NETC building. Come on, let's go. Now this right here is our wonderful T-Rex ad that we have here on display in our lobby. And if you're asking, Skip, why is it you guys have a T-Rex head? Why is it you're not spending that money to put on other wonderful programs, such as your own, on this network? Well, I think there's only one person that can answer that question to a satisfactory manner.
Well, Skip, I might be a T-Rex, but I know greed when I see it. Either that, or they're just a bunch of assholes.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. We have some eggs here. Now, since we're a late night program, you'd expect us to be here at some pretty late hours of the night. We even have some full-time staff. This right here is our night owl secretary, Jenny. How's it going this evening, Jenny?
Hi, Skip.
What are you working on here tonight, Jenny?
Your cue cards.
Oh, my cue cards, okay. So if they're bad, I can blame you?
Yeah, and the writers.
Is this really the best we can do at this point? Now, Jenny, I don't normally come down to this level. I normally take the back entrance. So are the lights always off down here?
Yeah, that's my preference.
Your preference. Why is that your preference?
I don't want you to see me.
Well, we're shooting an interview here, Jenny. Come on, you're gonna be on TV. What's there to hate about that?
I wasn't expecting you.
Who are you expecting, Jenny? Jesus?
He's the only one who could save the show.
Now, Jenny, before I let you go, I have one final question for you. I like to ask this, right before I go on stage with every one of my guests. Pop rocks, are they science or black magic?
Get the off of my desk.
All right, thank you. And that, folks, concludes our tour of the wonderful luxury offices here in the NETC building. This place is so nice, actually, that this is where I'm sleeping tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Charlie, thank God you're here. These people, I've been on the phone with legal for the past 4 hours, and they're trying everything they can to screw us and keep us off the air.
What the hell happened?
After last week, when we tried to throw together a show without our studio, without any of our normal stuff, they didn't like that. They didn't like the fact that we were pushing back against them. So they're throwing everything at us now to try and get us to not go on the air again.
Skip, the contract says...
I know what the contract says, Charlie. The contract says that we're entitled to those last 2 air dates. But the thing is, they don't want that. And they're willing to do anything to make sure that doesn't happen. They even offered us a buyout to make sure it didn't happen.
I hear Florida's nice this time of year.
It doesn't matter about Florida, Charlie. It doesn't matter about the money either. What matters here is they're taking our show, which has been their highest performing program the whole time it's been on the air, and they're throwing it away. They would rather spend money and make us disappear than own up to it.
I mean, a nice buyout could go a long way.
Charlie, you are just too young and too dumb to realize what really matters here. It's not about the money. It's about the fact that once that money runs out, we'll have no show, no influence, nothing anymore. Everything will be gone.
I don't know, Skip. It's your show.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest this evening is an up-and-coming rock star. He's had a song on the top 40 the past 4 weeks. He fizzled things out with his old band and is transitioning into a new band. He's performing a concert later this weekend downtown. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ben Stillwater.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
A quick question I have for you, Ben. So, as I said a little bit, you fizzled things out with your old band. You're trying to take your fame that you have and run with it, make into a new band. Catch us up to speed on your story as an artist.
Yeah, so I was a part of a group called the Styrofoam Plates. Things just sort of didn't work out creatively. I feel, not to throw them under the bus, but I feel that my bandmates just didn't match the level of creative genius that I was at the entire time, frankly. And
ladies and gentlemen, pardon this interruption, I have a very important message to you on behalf of Bart's Bargain Outlet. Now, ladies and gents, Bart has bought too many bananas. He's bought so many bananas that he is having an ape of a sale. So go on down to Bart's Bargain Outlet and get some bananas. There are too many bananas, folks. Please support the show and head on down there. Banana?
yeah,
Now, Ben, you're competing in a very tough industry right here. You're trying to make your name in show business, and that is a very tough thing to do. I mean, I can personally vouch and say, it'll pick you up and it'll chew you out and it'll make things difficult. So, as an artist, as an independent artist and an individual, the front man that you are, tell me a bit of, what drives you and how you do it.
thank you so much for asking that. Working in the independent space has been really, really difficult, and it continues to be. The climb from having, almost nobody listen to you to all of a sudden a ton of eyes on you and a ton of attention towards we're doing this again.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, Bart's Bargain Outlet. They have too many bananas. They gave us a sponsorship as the show to promote the fact that they need to get rid of these bananas. There's too many for them. There are too many for most people in the city. Please head on down there and take advantage of this ape of a sale. You'll never find bananas cheaper except for right now.
What's enough bananas to feed an army?
Maybe. Small army. Anyway, one last question I have for you, Ben. Like I said, show business, it's tough, it's hard, it's a whale of a time. But you want to be this rock star, and you're talented. So my assistant has told me. I haven't actually listened to your stuff. Tell me a bit about what drives you to make your songs.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think just constantly reminding myself of my own self-worth and my own creative genius, and that I have been through the ringer and that I will continue to prosper. Oh my.
Too many bananas, folks. Please go on down, support the show, and help get rid of these bananas. You can even buy a monkey from Bart's Bargain Outlet. Just go to the catalog and we'll get you a monkey. Please, there are too many bananas. They filled my office. There's too many bananas.
That's actually pretty cool because I had an idea for this music video that I wanted to do with the monkey, and
Just don't.
Okay.
Let me give you some advice. Don't go into show business. Don't do any of this. It sucks. It sucks. Like I said, it'll chew you up and spit you out, and it's gonna have you wearing a banana on TV for money. Charlie, just the man I wanted to see. So I can't find Benny anywhere, and I need to make sure that these jokes are actually funny for our next episode. So can you help me review them?
Actually, Skip,
I mean, Charlie, this is kind of the main priority right now, so it can wait a bit, okay? Here's one. And the renovations on the observatory will be completed tomorrow, just in time for the full moon. And I'm not sure what the moon has been eating to make it so full. Definitely nothing from our cafeteria here.
Now, Skip, if you're done with that, I have to tell you.
Have you seen any of the writers, Charlie? I mean, like Phil especially. I haven't seen anyone here.
Yeah, that's part of what I was trying to tell you. Someone from Standards and Practices came down yesterday and fired Phil. Everybody else, too. Apparently it was long overdue, and that they've been getting away with too much all these years.
That's some bullshit, Charlie. I mean, for 4 years it's been fine, and now it's a problem?
My best guess, I think it's because that Paul started getting a little too revolutionary about the show being canned.
That just sucks. Really sucks. I mean, all we have for monologue jokes are the ones we have from the intern. I mean, listen to some of these. If Nixon would have stayed in the White House after resigning, would he have just been the resident? This card just says the New York Mets. That's only funny, Charlie, because it's true.
Listen, Skip, Phil and the writers aren't the only ones who are gone. Benny walked.
Benny walked. But Benny said that.
I know he didn't, Skip. But I caught him as he was emptying out his office. That buyout that they offered you, they offered to him too. And he took it. He said he already accepted another job as a showrunner.
Charlie, I've known Benny for years. There's no way he would leave me at a time like this, when I need him.
I don't know what to tell you. But I have an idea that might help things out.
We need all the help we can get at this point, Charlie. Tell me.
Well, it involves doing something that you don't want to do, that you're going to complain about, but eventually do anyway.
I mean, that's kind of my normal routine around here, Charlie. Just spit it out. Come on.
You're going to call into the Flaming James radio hour and talk to them about what's going on.
Charlie, I don't know how many times I've told you and Benny. I am the interviewer, not the interviewee. I don't do interviews.
When was the last time you turned on the news, Skip? Have you not seen how your own network is turning the tables on you? You've been so busy feeding the last 3 episodes of the show to them, you haven't been fighting back.
How bad can it be out there, Charlie? Really?
They've gone to every media outlet they can to tell them that you're a loser, that you're an underperformer, that you're an asshole.
But I'm not, Charlie.
But that's not stopping them, Skip. You need to say something. Just call in. Skip, I know you're the captain of the sinking ship, but I'm going down with you. Just call in.
This is the Flaming James Radio Hour.
Folks, in just a minute here, we'll be on with a guest I've been dying to talk to. And here he is now, Skip Phillips.
Flamin' James, thanks for having me on your show today, man.
Now, tell me, Skip, why now?
You know, with everything that NETC has been saying about our little scandal here, I thought I needed to call in and give my side of it.
Skip, I just got an alert here. At 2:57 this afternoon, NETC announced Warren Fillmore, nephew of network head John Fillmore, will be starting a late-night program. Care to comment? Skip?
Warren Fillmore's by your bedside? Charlie, they gave him a fucking late night show.
Skip, they didn't just give him a show, they gave him your show.
What do you mean?
As soon as I found this flyer, I went to every studio space NETC has, and that's when I found it. I knew for sure when I saw Benny there. And all of our former crew members, writers, everyone has signed on for this show. Skip, take a breather, man. I don't know if there's anything else you can do at this point.
Charlie, I just don't understand. After everything we've done in the past and everything we've done since then, why they're just getting rid of it to make a fucking knockoff.
Look, we have one more show. I looked through some of Benny's old files, and we do still have a couple $100 in the budget. You can do whatever you want with it, as long as it fits in the last show.
I don't even know what we could do for a final show, Charlie. What do you do to send this all off? Come on.
Oh, and Jenny left this note here for you. She said someone was going to come by and inform you you needed to schedule your interview with old man Fillmore.
President Fillmore, why would I want to talk to a spineless sack of I know exactly why I would want to talk to a spineless sack of shit like Fillmore, Charlie. And I know when we're going to do it.
When?
We're going to do it live on Friday night. That's our final show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our first and final live broadcast. Hosting the show over the past 4 years has been an incredible experience, and I cannot express how much I treasure the fact that I was able to do this. I thank you for tuning in every week to see what shenanigans we get up to, and But enough of the formalities. Like many of you, I'm getting fired from my job. And when you get fired from your job, you have to sit down with your boss and discuss things and see how it went. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mr. John Fillmore, president of NETC.
Skip, there is our star. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, John. A round of applause is about half as fulfilling as having a show on live television. It really makes up for it. But regardless, John, I understand that we have an exit interview to take care of here.
We do, Skip. I don't think they gave me any questions, though.
I don't know, John, but considering I'm the host of this program, how about I stick to the interview today?
I don't think that's what we had planned. Can someone bring me my questions, please?
Let's start with this one, John. Why cancel a show after 4 successful, highly rated seasons on the air?
I think 4 years is plenty of fun, Skip. It's plenty of time to show the world what you have and move on.
Here's another one, John. You're a big family man, aren't you?
I am. My nephew Warren has a new show coming out on our network.
A program exactly like this one, at the same time slot, in the same format. So folks, if you're sitting at home next week and you want to crack open a nice can of Coca-Cola, just remember, we're sticking to RC Cola.
Skip, I remind you that we are professionals and we are live this evening.
You want to talk about professionalism, John? I think the professional thing to do would to tell me why you're firing me and canceling my show instead of poaching my crew and putting on your nephew's joke of a program.
Skip,
And what did I do to deserve that? What did Benny or Paul or Mike, what did anyone do to take this show away from us and make some filth?
That's just business, Skip. Can we cut to commercial, please? Charlie, I know you're back there.
4 years. 4 years I'm on here, John. You took me in and you gave me the world with the show. And now you're tossing me. You're not just tossing me, you're tossing me and all of my work too. You're tossing the best show on your network to the wolves. For what? For your of a nephew to just do it worse? Because that's just business? Who's going to want to advertise next to dog John? Who? That's a great business idea right there.
That's our show. Have a good night, everybody.
An uproar over at NETC as Skip Phillips ends his show. The live broadcast featured a sit-down discussion between Phillips and John Fillmore, head of NETC. After storming off in the middle of airing, Phillips has only briefly been seen exiting the NETC building, and questions remain as to what comes next for the star following his departure.
I guess everything really does have to end.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else we could have done, Charlie. I think I'm fine at saying that this is where the show ends.
So everything really does have an expiration date.
Yeah, things bananas definitely do.
Coming up next, a behind-the-scenes look at Warren Fillmore's By Your Bedside.
Are we really watching this?
No.